What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mellon, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Wednesday, October 7th, 2015, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mellon, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for the Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. 27 women who have accused Bill Cosby of sexually assaulting them will speak exclusively to NBC News on Friday. The Dateline special, The Cosby Accusers Speak, will feature women all with similar stories of abuse, speaking with Kate Snow about their personal recollections of assault, betrayal, and emotional distress. Model Beverly Johnson told NBC News, "This body of women are moving the needle. Not much, but we're still moving it, and that's the power we all feel." Eden Child spoke about the insanity of critics suggesting the women invented their accusations. She says, "It's insane that people actually think that any of us would have come together to bring down some celebrity whose celebrity has already started to fade long before we came forward. We came forward to say we're using our voices to say this isn't okay." The accusers range from age 46 to 80 and will respond to skepticism about their accusations and Cosby's legal team's denial of their claims. Their story spans 5 decades, but all starts with the similar theme of Cosby mentoring them before taking advantage. Dateline's The Cosby Accuser Speaks airs on Friday, October 9th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In an interview with the Giro discussing her role in Will to Love, Keisha Knight Pullum, who played Rudy Huxtable on The Cosby Show, is defending the legacy of the classic TV program. She says, "I can't say that based upon the people that continuously approach me and talk about how profoundly impacted their lives. I don't feel you can take that back. You can't take back the impact that it had on generations of kids, and it continues to have such a positive impact on them. So I feel like the place that it has in people's hearts is such a nostalgic part of childhood and beyond. It's going to be difficult to take back those memories." Pullum also stood by comments that she made in January when she said that the accusations of sexual assault against Cosby contradicted the man she knows and loves. She says, "My comments don't really change because still, regardless of how many, that's just not the man I know. That's not who I experience. I never had that interaction with him, so I can't speak to it." Dancing with the Stars professional dancer Allison Holker, who is paired with singer Andy Grammer this season, is pregnant. The former So You Think You Could Dance personality revealed her pregnancy news behind the scenes Monday night before she and Grammer took to the dance floor to perform in the live competition. Her husband, Stephen T. Witch Boss, was in attendance of the show to take part in the announcement. Afterwards, Holker shared a photo of herself, her husband, and young daughter from another relationship, Wesley, celebrating the news surrounded by Dancing with the Stars cast. She wrote, "We're having a baby," tagging her dancer husband. This will be Holker and Boss's first child together since marrying in December 2013. Holker also announced that she is 4 months along and will remain on the show as her pregnancy progresses, a first for the popular talent competition. And in a related story, Nick Carter delighted fans by performing to the Backstreet Boys on Monday's episode of Dancing with the Stars. 35-year-old singer and partner Sharna Burgess danced to the boy band's hit Everybody Backstreet's Back for most memorable year night. Carter chose 1992, the year he first met his Backstreet Boys bandmates at the age of 12. He explained in the lead-up clip, "I came from a dysfunctional family. There was a lot of fighting in our household, and it broke my heart, you know. I never could fix my family. The boys saved me. They love and treat me like a true brother." He elaborated to Us Weekly, "That was the year my life changed forever. Without them, I wouldn't be who I am right now. Every single one of those guys raised me and taught me so much about values and family and relationships and just have morals, and I was really fortunate to have that from those guys." Carter, AJ McLean, Howie Jarrow, Kevin Richardson, and Brian Littrell released their debut album Backstreet Boys in 1996. The group's last release, In a World Like This, was in 2013 and appeared in the documentary Backstreet Boys, Show 'Em What You're Made Of in January. McLean was in attendance cheering Carter on during his performance. The singer and Burgess scored a 27 out of 30 and are tied with singer Tamar Braxton and partner Val Chemerinsky as the second highest scoring couple of the season. Dancing with the Stars airs Monday at 8 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time on ABC. Singer and actress Demi Lovato is serious about mental health. Lovato, 23, who was diagnosed with bipolar disorder at 19, has been on Capitol Hill since Wednesday, speaking with lawmakers about mental health disorders on behalf of the Be Vocal, Speak Up for Mental Illness initiative. While speaking with MSNBC's Tamron Hall Monday, the singer said that despite mental health being primarily discussed after such tragedies as last week's mass shooting in Umpqua, Oregon, those with mental illness are rarely the ones to hurt others. Lovato said, unfortunately, we have several instances where mental health has been brought to the attention by the media because of these tragedies. I think it's really important to remember that actually people with mental illness are more likely to inflict harm on themselves and become the victims rather than be the perpetrators. The Mental Health Initiative is backed by organizations such as the Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance, the JED Foundation, Mental Health America, the National Alliance of Mental Illness, the National Council of Behavioral Health, and Savinium Pharmaceuticals. This is the first initiative supported by all 5 organizations at once, the website explains. The former Disney star and Cool for the Summer singer believes vocalizing one's mental struggles is important to help people find treatment sooner. She explained, I think the more that you're vocal for yourself and for others, the more that people can help you. That's why it's so important that you speak up. Director George Miller says he has 2 more Mad Max sequels in the works at Warner Brothers. The 7-year-old Australian director revealed the news in an interview with Top Gear. Miller wrote and directed all 4 movies in the Mad Max franchise, the most recent being the critical and financial success Mad Max Fury Road. He recalled Fury Road was greenlit 3 times and fell over 3 times in a decade. But in this process, we had dug deep down into the backstory not only of the characters, but every vehicle. How the steering wheels became religious artifacts and things like that. He also added, so he ended up with 2 scripts without really trying. We talked to the studio about it as we speak, but which one of the 2 stories will happen next, I'm not so sure. Miller says he wanted to quickly do a small film without special effects before he returns to the frantic world of Mad Max. The director revealed he turned down the chance to helm a live-action adaptation of Akira in an interview with Yahoo Movies this week. He told the website, there was talk of it, but I've got so many things on my dance card, I don't have the time to do everything. The original Mad Max opened in theaters in 1979 with Mel Gibson as the titular character. The actor returned in Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior in 1981, and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome in 1985, and was replaced by Tom Hardy in Fury Road this year. New Line Cinema says production has begun in Atlanta on Fist Fight, a big screen comedy starring Ice Cube and Charlie Day. The pair play high school teachers prepared to solve their differences the hard way. In the film, which is being directed by Richie Keene, from a script written by Evan Susser and Van Rubenschall. It will co-star Tracy Morgan, Jillian Bell, Christina Hendricks, Dennis Haysbert, and Joanna Garcia Swisher. A synopsis says, on the last day of the year, in Mild Manor high school English teacher Andy Campbell is trying his best to keep it together amidst senior pranks, a dysfunctional administration, and budget cuts that puts jobs on the line. Things go from bad to worse when he accidentally crosses his much tougher and deeply feared colleague Ron Strickland, who challenges Campbell to an old-fashioned throwdown after school. News of the fight spreads like wildfire and ends up becoming the very thing this school and Campbell needed. Bella Cruz, the adopted daughter of Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, secretly read boyfriend Max Parker in September. Women's Day magazine first reported this week the 22-year-old married Parker at the Dorchester Hotel in London on September 18th. Cruz's famous parents, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, were not in attendance. Sources deny rumors of bad feelings between Cruz and her dad to TMZ and said the 53-year-old actor paid for the ceremony and reception. Tom Cruise reportedly shares a good relationship with his new son-in-law as well. An insider told Us Weekly it was a super low-key small ceremony. Connor Cruz was there, but both Tom and Nicole were not. Bella really didn't want to make it a big deal out of it. There wasn't even any sort of official reception, as it was very, very informal. Cruz is the eldest child of Tom Cruise and Kidman and sister to 20-year-old Connor. The actor and 48-year-old actress were married from 1990 to 2001, and Kidman recently discussed the importance of keeping in touch with her 2 eldest children. Al Roker apologized for posting on Twitter a smiling selfie with his colleagues in front of a flooded and destroyed South Carolina road. Roker said he caught up in the moment of camaraderie and became aware of his surroundings. The veteran weatherman issued 2 tweets stating, absolutely correct, I apologize for being insensitive. The woman in that car got out without injury. We should have not have been in the picture. We came down to report, and I offended those who lost so much. I am sorry. Roker, who is a journalist on NBC and a host of the Today Show, received major backlash on social media after posting the photo on Sunday. The photo was captioned, "My crew and I are getting ready to report on East Coast flooding from South Carolina on at NBC Nightly News with Kate Snow." The Twitter users quickly degenerated the post. Followers such as Chuck Crumpler said, "Al, your photo is in extreme poor taste. We're devastated and you're smiling. Shame on you." Others, such as Casual Observer, said, "Leave it to Al Roker to show up to a natural disaster where people have died, lost their homes, etc., and taking a smiling selfie." Despite the backlash, there were Twitter users who did sympathize with the weatherman and thanked him for shedding light on the natural disaster. Priscilla McKenzie says, "People need to chill. I don't think you are being insensitive. People are just too touchy nowadays." While Brittany Marie said, "We do appreciate you being here, bringing attention to this dreadful weather disaster. Y'all be safe out there." The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 released a dramatic new trailer Tuesday. The preview titled "Welcome to the 76 Hunger Games" sees Katniss, played by Jennifer Lawrence, rallying her supporters with a rousing speech before taking on President Snow, played by Donald Sutherland, and the Capitol. The trailer decrees, "Nothing can prepare you for the end." Mockingjay Part 2 is based on the final book in the Hunger Games series by Suzanne Collins and will bring the film franchise to a close. The movie opens in theaters November 20th and co-stars Liam Hemsworth as Gale and Josh Hutcherson as Peeta. The Hunger Games film adaptation has earned a combined $2.3 billion at the box office. The first film, The Hunger Games, premiered in 2012, while the latest installment, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, opened last November. The latest trailer for Martin Scorsese and Mick Jagger's joint project, a new HBO series about the 1970s rock and roll scene, has been released. Starring Bobby Cannavale as New York-based record producer Richie Finestra, the trailer of Vinyl chronicles the birth of rock and roll, hailed at the time as a new style of music that made people feel something. The clip is ascended with the Stooges' song "I Want to Be Your Dog." Olivia Wilde also stars in the series as a former model and Finestra's wife. She reportedly reverts to her bohemian lifestyle as her husband tries to obsessively relaunch his record company with a new sound. Actors Andrew Dice Clay, Ray Romano, and Mick Jagger's son James joined Wilde and Cannavale as the cast of Vinyl. Penned by Boardwalk Empire and Sopranos screenwriter Terrence Winter, the series will air on HBO in January. Kris Jenner says that she and Caitlyn Jenner have reconciled since the latter's Vanity Fair interview was published in June. The 59-year-old reality star clarified as much to E! News about her emotional reaction to the magazine's July issue was shown on Sunday's episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She told the website, "Obviously, I was angry, but we are all good now and have moved past it." Kris felt she was portrayed unfairly in the interview, which explored Caitlyn's identity as a transgender woman and addressed the couple's failed marriage. The 65-year-old Olympic medalist told the publication, "20% of the split was because of gender, and 80% was the way I was treated." Kris complained on the episode, "We had this great life and not one nice word. It just sums up that I'm this piece of shit person who is me. He can go fuck himself. I honestly wish I never met this man. I mean, fuck you, Bruce." Kris and Caitlyn married in 1991 and share two daughters, 19-year-old Kendall and 18-year-old Kylie. The reality star filed for divorce in September 2014 after a lengthy separation, and Caitlyn came out as a transgender woman in April. In an interview with Grazia magazine, Victoria Beckham says her marriage to soccer star David Beckham is going strong, despite rumors of them splitting. The English businesswoman and designer, 41, said, "I have never listened to or commented on the rumors about any aspect of my life." The former Spice Girl says that despite her and David's regular business and charity trips, they make time to be together as a couple and a family. The former crooner says, "I am blessed to have a wonderful husband and beautiful, healthy, happy children." The couple, who is now back in London, have been married for 16 years and share 4 kids, Brooklyn 16, Romeo 13, as well as Cruz and Harper 10. Harper recently started school, and Brooklyn is off to art college. Beckham says her husband inspires and guides her, adding that they both have a strong working ethic because they pride themselves on setting a positive example for their children. She also says the children are aware of the privileged lives they lead, noting that Romeo recently organized a children's marathon and split funds from sponsorship between David's charity and UN AIDS. David, 40, agreed with Victoria's comments in a recent interview where he says that after being together for 18 years, 16 married, they trust each other's judgment. David recently took a boys' trip to Dubai and posted a picture of his adventures on Instagram saying he missed his beautiful wife and unbelievable children. Amber Rose and soon-to-be ex-husband Wiz Khalifa reunited over the weekend. The 31-year-old model and 28-year-old rapper posted friendly photos together on Instagram just one day after Rose publicly forgave Khalifa and ex-boyfriend Kanye West at her slut walk in Los Angeles. Still balling, the model captioned a picture of herself cheek to cheek with Khalifa on Sunday. Lemonhead, all in my pic. The rapper added a snapshot of Rose casually placing her hand on his side. Rose forgave Khalifa and West at the event of past instances of perceived slut shaming. The model and her Amber Rose Foundation hosted the Slut Walk to promote the organization's mission of, quote, uplifting, empowering, and enhancing the platform of women across the globe. Rose and Khalifa dated 2 years before welcoming son Sebastian in February 2013 and married in July of that year. The model filed for divorce in September 2014, and the former couple's relationship has been both friendly and acrimonious since the split. Emmy winner Claire Danes addressed her controversial relationship with Billy Crudup during an appearance on Monday on The Howard Stern Show. The 36-year-old actress opened up about the 47-year-old actor in an interview with host Howard Stern. Danes was decried as a homewrecker when Crudup left his 6-month pregnant girlfriend, actress Maurice Louise Parker, to be with her in 2003. She said of that public backlash, that was a scary thing. It was really hard. I was just in love with him and needed to explore that and was 24. Didn't quite know what those consequences might be. It's okay. I went through it. Danes and Crudup met on the set of Stage Beauty in 2003 and dated until 2006. The actor and Parker had been together for 7 years, and the Weeds actors gave birth to their son William in January 2004. Parker later told More magazine, I never commented on the situation, and I won't because it's not fair to my son. Who wins? No child can benefit in that situation. Your love for your child should eclipse any other feelings you have for another person. Danes went on to marry Hugh Danes in 2009 and shared 2-year-old son Cyrus with the actor. The actress has starred as Carrie Matheson on Showtime series Homeland since 2011, which airs new episodes Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Appearing on the cover of Vanity Fair's November issue, singer Rihanna says she returned to her relationship with Chris Brown after falling victim to his domestic violence because she felt strong enough to deal with the situation. She told the magazine, I was that girl who felt that as much pain as this relationship is, many people are built stronger than others. Maybe I'm one of those people built to handle shit like that. Maybe I'm the person who's almost a guardian angel to this person to be there when there's not strong enough, when they're not understanding the world, when they just need someone to encourage them in a positive way and say the right thing. Alongside an editorial spread featuring photos of the singer posing in various scenic spots in the recent opened Caribbean island of Cuba, Rihanna, full name Robin Rihanna Fenty, discussed how things turned out when she finally decided to leave Brown. The Barbados beauty felt that she could change him for the better. She explained, I was very protective of him. I felt that people didn't understand him even after. But you realize after a while that in that situation, you're the enemy. You want the best for them. But if you remind them of their failures, or you remind them of bad moments in their life, or even if you say, I'm willing to put up with something, they think less of you because they know you don't deserve what they're going to give. In 2009, Chris Brown physically assaulted his then-girlfriend Rihanna inside a Lamborghini after a night of partying. Rihanna was left with a bloodied and battered face that was soon all plastered all over tablets and magazines around the world. In 2012, Rihanna and Brown reunited for a short time before splitting up again the following year. She says, I don't hate him. I will care about him until the day I die. We're not friends, but it's not like we're enemies. We don't have much of a relationship now. Twilight series author Stephenie Meyer announced Tuesday the release of a spin-off that makes Edward a female and Bella a male. In Life and Death, Twilight reimagined Meyer's swapped the gender of the two main characters and makes a story about a female vampire and the human teenager she falls in love with. The book is now available as part of a 10-year anniversary edition of the first book of the series. Mayer told Good Morning America on Tuesday that she wanted to do something fun for the 10th anniversary, and that she was bothered by readers who said Bella imitated the Dansmo in distress. Mayer says that it was what happens when a character is surrounded by superheroes, so she decided to make the lead a female character. In the 442-page novel, Bella Swan is replaced by a male character named Bo, and Edward Cullen is supplanted by the female Edith. Werewolf Jacob Black becomes Julie. Mayer says the core story doesn't change much, although the different personalities wrought by the gender change do play a role. She says it's really very much the same thing, saying she hopes new readers may be introduced to the series through its anniversary edition. The cover of the alternative book imitates that of the first novel, but features a green apple as opposed to a red one. Fans were hoping that the finished version of a much-leaked manuscript called Midnight Sun, which tells the story of Twilight from Edward Cullen's perspective, would be included in the 10th anniversary edition. Mayer said she was not able to complete the story in time. Mayer's book series have sold more than 150 million copies worldwide, and a accompanying set of 5 films have grossed a total of $3.3 billion worldwide. ABC Family says it's changing its name to Freeform as of January. The announcement was made on Tuesday by ABC Family President Tom Asherman. Asherman said in a statement, Freeform evokes the spirit and adventure of our audience. Freeform will deliver new, exciting, original content, as well as all the favorite shows our viewers already love on ABC Family. The rebranding is intended to appeal to the audience the network has identified as becomers, people in high school, college, and the decades that follows, are navigating the wonderful, fun, exciting, and scary time in life when you experience the most first. First car, first apartment, first love, first job, first heartbreak. The network is the home of shows like Pretty Little Liars, The Fosters, Young and Hungry, and Baby Daddy. Oscar winner Tom Hanks took to Twitter Tuesday to return a student identification card he found in New York City. The 59-year-old Oscar winner and father of 4 tweeted alongside an image of the Fordham University card with his thumb covering the woman's name. Lauren, I found your student ID in the park. If you still need it, my office will get to you. Hanks. Hanks has been on the promotional trail for Bridge of Spies, his latest collaboration with director Steven Spielberg. And an updated news regarding the story, Lauren did indeed pick up her student ID. Canadian rapper Drake has released a new song featuring singer Beyonce. Drake unveiled the 2-minute tune called Can I over the weekend on Apple Music's Beats One during his OVO sound show. The collaborative song comes 2 years after the rapper was featured on Beyonce's self-titled album back in 2013. A short clip from Can I was leaked online earlier this year. The new song comes shortly after Drake and fellow hip-hop artist Future released a surprise collaborative mixtape titled What a Time to Be Alive in September. Like Can I, the mixtape was unveiled on Drake's OVO Sound radio show before being made available to the public. Drake also made headlines recently after opening a restaurant in his hometown of Toronto alongside Iron Chef contestant chef Susu Lee. The eatery's soft opening was attended by friends and family, including Jaden Smith and his mother, Jada Pinkett Smith, and the rapper's rumored girlfriend, tennis star Serena Williams. Former Tonight Show host Jay Leno dropped into his old workplace Tuesday to give his replacement, Jimmy Fallon, a helping hand, and to plug his new CNBC show, of course. Leno made a surprise appearance during Fallon's opening monologue when the late-night host faked pulling a hamstring during a skit about President Obama and Bernie Sanders. He asked, I don't think I can continue, but of course here at the Tonight Show the monologue has to go on, so I think I'm going to have to sub out. Can someone tag in for me? Enter Leno's stage left, who probably still has what it takes to jumping straight into a political segment. He said, when the Republicans say the economy is bad, you know it's bad. In New York on Park Avenue today, I saw one with real breasts and a fake Gucci purse. You never see that. Leno continued before Fallon jumped back in and offered. In Beverly Hills, parents are forced to raise their own children. By saying the economy is so bad, 50 Cent just changed his name to Nickelback. Ironically, when Fallon asked Leno if he wanted to hang around for the rest of the show, he claimed he was heading over to his CBS rival. I would love to, but I'm lead guest on Colbert, he quipped. The iconic late-night host recently addressed why he didn't make an appearance at David Letterman's Late Show's finale earlier this year. He said, well, I asked Dave to do a 10-second tape for us when I left. Anything, just Leno who? They said no, they didn't want to do it. Well, why am I going to run all the way to New York? I mean, quid pro quo. I said, no, that's kind of silly. Leno took over The Tonight Show in 1992 amidst controversy as many expected Letterman to fill the void left by Johnny Carson. After a brief departure to host The Jay Leno Show, he finally retired in 2014 and handed off the reins to Fallon. Jay Leno's Garage premieres Wednesday, October 7th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CNBC. On Monday night, The Late Late Show host James Corden invited Julianne Moore and John Stamos to join the skit The Bold and the Lyrical, in which the trio acted in a soap opera setting, speaking to each other only using Taylor Swift lyrics. The impressive sketch included lyrics from both throwback Swift songs like I'm Only Me When I'm With You and Love Story, and recent hits like Shake It Off and Wildest Dreams. And now let's look back at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1975, a New York State Supreme Court judges reversed a deportation order for former Beatle John Lennon, allowing him to remain legally in his adopted home of New York City. Protests against the Vietnam War had escalated significantly following the announcement of the Cambodia invasion on April 30th, 1970, and the shooting deaths of 4 student protesters at Kent State just 4 days later. Many such gatherings would feature peaceful demonstrators singing Lennon's 1969 anthem, Give Peace a Chance, but others were more threatening. Newly relocated in New York City, John Lennon began to associate publicly with such radical figures as Abbie Hoffman, Jerry Rubin, and Bobby Seale, and the White House reportedly grew concerned, according to the 2006 documentary, The U.S. vs. John Lennon, over his potentially powerful influence with a generation of 18 to 20-year-olds who would be allowed for the very first time to vote in the 1972 presidential election. South Carolina Senator Strom Thurmond was of the same opinion, and it was a letter he wrote to the White House in his capacity as the chairman of the Senate Internal Security Committee that prompted the White House to action. And an FBI investigation of Lennon turned up no evidence of involvement in illegal activities, but the matter was referred nonetheless to the Immigration and Naturalization Services, which began deportation proceedings against Lennon and his wife Yoko Ono on the basis of a 1968 marijuana conviction in England. Leon Wilds, the immigration attorney who would handle Lennon's case over the next 4 years, would say of his client's reaction to the case, he understood that what was being done to him was wrong, it was an abuse of the law, and he was willing to stand up and try to show it and to shine the big light of it. Lennon's persistence in fighting the case finally paid off in October 7, 1975, with a court decision that left no question as to the real motives behind the deportation. Also on this date in 1983, Sean Connery stars in Never Say Never Again as the British Secret Service agent James Bond, a role he last played in 1971. The film's title referenced the fact that the Scottish-born actor had previously remarked that he would never play Agent 007 again. Bond originated the role of James Bond in 1962's Dr. No. The character was the creation of the British author and journalist Ian Fleming. Connery went on to play the debonair 007 in From Russia with Love in 1963, Goldfinger 1964, Thunderball 1965, and You Only Live Twice in 1967. The Australian actor George Lazenby assumed the major role of Bond on Her Majesty's Secret Service in 1969, while Connery returned for Diamonds Are Forever in 1971 and Never Say Never Again in 1983, a film regarded as unofficial because it wasn't produced by Eon Productions, the company behind all the other Bond films in the series. In addition to the Bond films, which are among the most lucrative franchises in movie history, Connery has compiled a long list of other big-screen credits, including director John Huston's The Man Who Would Be King in 1975, Robin and Marian in 1976 with Audrey Hepburn, The Name of the Roses in 1986, The Untouchables in 1987, for which he earned a Best Supporting Actor Oscar, the action hits The Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade in 1989, and The Hunt for Red October in 1990, Entrapment in 1999 with Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Finding Foster in 2000. Connery, who was voted People Magazine's Sexiest Man of the Century in 1999, was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II in 2000. And that is your entertainment report for Wednesday, October 7th, 2015. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.